Mayor.
Okay. I'll call the meeting to order at 1:32 p.m. And the second item is our territorial land acknowledgement, which I'll read. Before our meeting gets underway, I would like to formally recognize the traditional keepers of this land, and specifically our neighbors of the Alderville First Nation, with a formal territorial acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Alnwick-Haldeman is located on the Mississauga Anishinaabe territory and is the traditional territory of the Mississauga Anishinaabe. The Township of Alnwick-Haldeman respectfully acknowledges that the Mississauga Nation are the collective stewards and caretakers of these lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure their health and integrity for generations to come. Thank you. I need approval of the agenda as circulated. Could I have the motion,
Sorry,
please?
Mayor. Item 3 has been overlooked.
Oh, any disclosures of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof?
None.
Seeing none. Thanks, Yolanda. I was looking for my motion on the next page. Okay, approval of the agenda as circulated. Be it resolved that the agenda for the regular council session of Thursday, May 20, 2021 be approved as circulated. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move that. Councillor Phillip.
Councillor Phillip, second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Gibson.
Deputy Mayor Gibson, calling for the vote. All in favor? Carried. Our visitors can't see us, right, Yolanda?
No.
Okay.
I believe they can see you. If they want to be visible, they can put their video on.
Okay. Well, as of the commission, I'll individually call for the vote. Okay.
Okay.
Our next item, item 5, is delegation, and it's a presentation by Maggie Darling, Manager of Communications United Way, and Nicole Beattie, Project Coordinator, Thrive Northumberland, Period Promise Northumberland World Menstrual Hygiene Day. Welcome, ladies. I just need the motion to get you onto the floor. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Barry, Deputy Mayor Gibson. Second, Councillor Phillip.
Well,
Okay. Welcome, Maggie and Nicole.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. And we can actually see all of your lovely faces. Well, I can see all of you on my screen, so that's wonderful.
Good.
Yolanda, are you able to pull the presentation up onto the screen?
Do you have something on your screen that I can share?
Yeah, so if you enable sharing, I can share my screen if that works as well.
Okay, I have enabled it.
Perfect, thank you.
That's great. And Maggie, I'll just prompt with next slide if that works.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, well, our introduction. So I'm Nicole and Maggie. Thank you, Your Worship, Deputy Mayor, and members of council for having us here. We won't take up much of your time. We are here to talk to you about Period Promise Northumberland. This is a joint initiative between the Northumberland United Way and Thrive, the Northumberland Coalition to End Violence Against Women. And just a note on Thrive, obviously the United Way is very well known and respected. Thrive is a coordinating agency of about 25 women's and children agencies across Northumberland County with a mandate for coordinating service for women and children who are experiencing or fleeing domestic violence and sexual assault. Period Promise is a locally funded initiative between the two organizations. Next slide, Maggie. So just wanted to open it up with a very, real stat from Plan International's Period Stigma Report circa 2018. Almost 1/4 of Canadian women say that they have struggled to afford menstrual products for themselves or their children. Periods are a fact of life, and so is the need for menstrual products. Sadly, many people can't afford them, and that level of poverty is a concern in this community across Northumberland County. We believe that no one should have to choose between buying groceries to feed their family and being able to afford basic hygiene products. This is why we launched Period Promise Northumberland on May 28th, last year in 2020, which was World Menstrual Hygiene Day. We launched this initiative in order to tackle period poverty in our community as a local response to a global issue. Next slide, please, Maggie. So you might be asking yourself, what is Period Promise? Period Promise started as a United Way campaign in Lower Mainland, British Columbia. Period Promise aims to address the issue of period poverty in our communities and to increase the accessibility of products to all people who experience a period. Originally led as part of a local Tampon Tuesday initiative, events were held to collect and distribute donated menstrual products for people in need. This transitioned into a rebranding by United Way Lower Mainland, in which organizers and supporters could continue to collect and distribute donations while advocating for free menstrual products in common spaces. This creates a more inclusive, advocacy-oriented approach with outreach in education, labor, unions, and government. Period Promise is now starting to pop up across Canada as a result of United Way Lower Mainland's initiative, and hence the local project between our United Way and Thrive Coalition to End Women Against Violence Against Women. Next slide, please, Maggie. When we launched in Northumberland County last year, we saw an immediate response from local citizens and businesses looking to get involved. We were also overwhelmed by how many people were sharing their stories of lived experience with their own stories of period poverty. One person shared with us, I came from a low income family and remember a time or two when my mom would have to make me use a rag until we got money for proper items, or she would have to go without so I wouldn't have to. Next slide, please. So our goals are to respond to that level of poverty in the Northumberland County and ensuring that no one has to make the decision between rags and healthy hygienic products. Our goals are we've organized Period Promise Northumberland in two key goals. One is advocacy and the second is collection and distribution. Advocacy is focusing on establishing connections with local businesses, and Maggie's going to give some examples of how we facilitated that support. We are doing active outreach to local Northumberland County government and each member municipal council, which is why we're here in front of you today. Last October, we started a community action group, which is a citizen-driven initiative reflective of people who care about this issue, people with lived experience or subject matter experts around menstrual hygiene. We're working with the labor councils and doing active outreach there, and we've been doing active local media since our launch last May, as well as a formal campaign this May as we lead up to World Menstrual Hygiene Day on May 28th. With respect to collection and distribution, Thrive Northumberland and the United Way have active partnerships with organizations across the county, such as local libraries and most recently, Community Care Northumberland. These partnerships with local nonprofits and community organizations are a distribution point for free product, donated product, and then United Way and Thrive then get the collected items out into the community where we've identified such the need, and Maggie will go into that in a little bit more detail. When COVID restrictions allow students to gather back in school, we also have a lot of active mothers who want to ensure that we are getting free product into schools as well, as period stigma starts at quite a young age. And now over to you, Maggie.
Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Your Worship, Deputy Mayor, and members of Council. Since we launched last year, we have distributed more than 5,000 products to individuals and organizations across our community to help people live with the dignity they deserve. As quickly as we've collected these products, the donations go right back out into our community to some of the organizations listed here on your screen, including the Northumberland County Warming Rooms, Highland Shores Children's Aid Society, Transition House, PARN, Community Health Centers of Northumberland, Northumberland Hills Hospital Community Mental Health, the Cobourg Public Library, Salvation Army, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and more. In the last year, we've also had some great successes, and Nurturing Health and Nourish Boutique Spa both stepped up to run a holiday collection campaign where they raised products and then provided it to Period Promise Northumberland. We've also had 3 signed agreements, which is our policy, Period Promise policy agreement, that is a commitment to offering free products in washrooms for clients, employees, or customers. We're reaching out with the local labor council, and most recently we had 2 placement students from Durham College's public relations program who supported us in developing our communications materials. Although we launched last year in the middle of the pandemic, we could see that the need was greater than ever. According to recent information released from Menstrual Hygiene Day, the current pandemic highlights and further exacerbates menstruation-related challenges for many individuals who experience periods all around the world. This includes disrupted information, so schools and community centers and other places where people typically access information or products have been closed. Stigma is also a big part of this, as lockdowns can intensify the impact of household level taboos and stigmas and make it more difficult to manage menstruation without shame and discomfort in confined spaces. Disrupted access to products. So many subsidized schemes, such as distribution at schools, have been suspended, as well as disrupted supply chains have driven up prices and making products harder to come across. So last year, you'll remember the toilet paper shortages. Amazon also experienced a similar shortage with tampons being unavailable on their online store. As well, lack of access to proper hand washing and sanitization continues to be an issue for many women, girls, and those who experience periods around the world. So from May 6th to June 3rd, we have been organizing a collection and awareness campaign alongside all Period Promise groups across Canada. The campaign is situated around Menstrual Hygiene Day, taking place on Friday, May 28th, and which Period Promise Northumberland will join other nonprofits as a global call to action to celebrate World Menstrual Hygiene Day. We believe in a world without period poverty and period stigma where it is not possible. Period Promise Northumberland is committed to tackling this issue here locally. So some of the ways that you can get involved. We are here today to respectfully ask you to proclaim May 28th as Menstrual Hygiene Day. We hope that you will join us in celebrating Menstrual Hygiene Day and help us to work towards ending period poverty in our community. A couple other ways you can get involved in our campaign is you can donate product at one of our safe drop-off locations. And these are some of the businesses that have stepped up to support our initiative, including Nurturing Health Naturopathic Clinic, Nourish Boutique Spa, Community Care Northumberland at multiple locations across the community, Cobourg Public Library, Foodland, No Frills, and we've added these grocery locations this year to ensure that individuals are not having to make extra stops outside of their home. They can simply pick up while doing their essential shops and drop at the grocery store. You can make a financial donation on our website. You can also run your own collection campaign. And we've created a toolkit where you have everything you need, including social graphics and emails to reach out to your families, friends, or colleagues. A couple other ways is you can sign the Period Promise Policy Agreement. So that's committing to offering product for free in your washrooms to customers, clients, or staff. You can join our community action group, and we meet every other month to organize initiatives around this program locally. You can also volunteer to help distribute the product. So once the collection campaign ends at the beginning of June, we'll work on organizing and getting those products out to the organizations as soon as we can. And then sharing the message about Period Promise Northumberland and period poverty in our community continues to be a really important task going forward. Thank you, Your Worship, Deputy Mayor, and members of Council for considering our request, and pending any questions, that is the end of our presentation.
Thank you, Nicole and Maggie. Any questions or comments from Council? That's a good presentation. Oh, sorry, Sherry, there you are. You weren't on my screen.
No, thank you,
Go ahead.
Mayor
Go ahead.
Latchford. And Maggie and Nicole, thank you so much for sharing that presentation and allowing us an opportunity to get that word out. You know, it's there, you know, there's a huge stigma, and I think, you know, around, especially around people that are of my age. And I think, you know, it's really promising to know that my grandkids are going to grow up in a world where this is just a normal function of women. And so I give you a lot of credit for getting out to councils and getting around, and wish you the best of luck. And certainly I would say if there's anything I can do to help, please reach out.
Thanks, Sherry. And the other thing that we can do is have this put on our website so that our residents will know and be aware when they're shopping or if they choose to donate in their own way or are in need maybe. So again, thank you very much on behalf of our council. It was good to hear from you. And I'm going to fully read the motion now and call for the vote. So the motion was made by Sherry, Deputy Mayor Gibson, and seconded by Councillor Phillip. Whereas Menstrual Hygiene Day was established as a global day of action on period poverty and stigma, and whereas Menstrual Hygiene Day is a day to step to take action and invest in menstrual hygiene and health, and whereas Menstrual Hygiene Day is a day where citizens can come together to recognize the effort of period poverty in our community and the impact of menstrual inequities on those experience a period while living in poverty. And whereas it is fitting and proper to create change that will create an equitable community for all, where all people can live with the dignity they deserve. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the presentation by Maggie Darling, Manager, Communications United Way, and Nicole Beattie, Project Coordinator, Thrive Northumberland, Period Promise Northumberland, World Menstrual Hygiene Day, be received and filed, and further that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Alnwick Haldeman do hereby proclaim May 28th, 2021 as Menstrual Hygiene Day in the Township of Alnwick Haldeman, and encourage all citizens to join together to give back to the community in a way that is personally meaningful. So I'll call for the vote. Deputy Mayor Gibson,
Yay.
Councillor Phillip,
Yay.
Councillor Booth,
Yay.
Councillor Hogg,
Yay.
and myself in favor. That's carried. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you very much. Take good care.
You
Thank
too.
you.
See you again.
Bye-bye.
I'm having a little connection difficulties. Item 6.1 is regular council session minutes of May 6. Be it resolved that the regular council session minutes of May 6, 2021 be approved. Can I have a mover, please?
I can move that.
Councillor Booth. Greg, second.
Councillor Hogg will second that.
Thank you. Calling for the vote. Deputy Mayor Gibson.
Yay.
Councillor Phillip.
Yay.
Councillor Booth.
Yay.
Councillor Hogg.
Yay.
And myself, that's carried. Is there any business arising from those minutes? Seeing none. Committee reports, item 8. This is the Alnwick Haldeman Public Library Board minutes of April 12th, 2021, and Ganaraska Region Conservation Authority minutes of the Board of Directors of April 15th, 2021. Be it resolved that the Alnwick Haldeman Public Library Board minutes of April 12th, 2021, and Ganaraska Region Conservation Authority minutes of the Board of Directors of April 15th, 2021 be received and filed. Could I have a mover, please? Moved by Deputy Mayor Gibson. Second. Councillor Booth. Any comments on either of those minutes? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Deputy Mayor Gibson.
Yay.
Councillor Phillip.
Yay.
Councillor Booth.
Yay.
Councillor Hogg.
Yay.
And myself, that's carried. So communications. These are from Paige Wiggins, Executive Assistants for the Office of MPP David Passini. The first one is dated May 7th, 2021. And I'm going to go right to the motion rather than read them all out twice. Be it resolved that the following correspondence be received and filed. From Paige Wiggins, Executive Assistant, Office of MPP David Passini, dated May 7th, 2021. This was the news release, Expanding Innovative Models of Care. From MPP David Pacini, dated May 20th, 2021, re the Community Building Fund. Paige Wiggins, Executive Assistant, Office of MPP David Pacini, dated May 12th, 2021, Provincial Antigen Screening Program. Paige Wiggins, Executive Assistant, Office of MPP David Pacini, dated May 13th, 2021, re the Ontario Tourism and Travel Small Business Support Grant. Could I have a mover, please?
Counselor Phillip can move that.
Thank you. Second by Deputy Mayor Gibson. Any comments on any of those? It's Councillor Booth.
Just wondering through you, Your Worship, to Troy. Troy, it talks about the Community Building Fund. Did anybody look into that to see whether or not we're eligible for that? It talks about renovations or retrofitting of existing sports and recreation infrastructure.
Yes, I believe staff have looked into it. So there could be an application coming forth.
Okay, thank you.
Any further comments, questions? I'll call for the vote. Thanks, Councillor Booth. Deputy Mayor Gibson?
Yay.
Councillor Phillip?
Yay.
Councillor Booth?
Yay.
Councillor Hogg?
Yay.
And myself in favor, that's carried. This is bylaws, and this is a bylaw to amend bylaw number 42, 2015, being a bylaw to establish a public library in the township of Alnwick-Haldeman. Be it resolved that bylaw number 63, 2021, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 42, 2015, being a bylaw to establish a public library in the township of Alnwick-Haldeman, be read and deemed passed this 20th day of May 2021. So what it is basically is updating changes. Could I have a mover, please?
Counselor Phillip will move that.
Second?
Councillor Hogg, second.
Thank you. Any further comments on it or questions? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Deputy Mayor Gibson?
Yay.
Councillor Phillip?
Yay.
Councillor Booth?
Yay.
Councillor Hogg?
Yay.
And myself in favor, that's carried. Item 10.2, being a bylaw to amend Schedule A to bylaw number 27, 2021, being a bylaw to appoint members of the Township of Alnwick-Haldeman Council to boards, committees, and as a representative on related agencies for the term 2021 to 2022. Be it resolved that the bylaw number 64, 2021, being a bylaw to amend Schedule A to bylaw number 27-2021, being a bylaw to appoint members of the Township of Alnwick-Haldeman Council to boards, committees, and as representatives on related agencies for the term 2021 to 2022, be read and deemed to be passed this 20th day of May 2021. I was speaking with the clerk's department, and at this time, we're not sure what the Recreation and Cultural Committee is going to recommend, and they're being added to this bylaw and to the list. So we thought it would be okay to leave the council committees as they are for now until the Recreation and Culture Committee gets started and see what they're going to maybe advise. And that way, this won't have to, it probably will have to be changed again, but may not have to be changed 2 or 3 times if council's okay with that. So your names are still attached to, for the time being, to a community center. That's all it's doing until we know what Recreation and Culture may recommend. Any other comments on that, or are you okay with that, or you don't want to do it? It's less time consuming in the end for our clerk's department, I think. Everybody's okay with it?
I'm
No, I'm
fine.
good.
Okay. You're good? You're good?
Yep.
Okay. I need a mover then for that motion.
Yeah, Counselor Phillip will move that.
Second?
I'll
Counselor
second that,
Booth?
Counselor Booth.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on it? Counselor Booth?
Just to you, your worship, what day is the first meeting for the RNC committee? Is it in June? I think there was in June,
June
It's
7th.
June 7th. Okay.
the first Monday, right? Right, Sherry? That's a Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
first
is.
Monday at 7, and it's by Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'll call for the vote.
Yay.
Counselor Phillip,
Yay.
Counselor Booth,
Yay.
Counselor Hogg,
Yay.
and myself in favor. That's carried. Oh, we're moving along today. We're down to item 11, announcements and notice of motions. First on the list, Counselor Hogg. You got anything, Jim?
No, I don't have anything really. No,
Okay.
your worship.
Thank you. And myself, I'm next. I do have a couple of things here. These are actually acknowledging, they were proclamations yesterday at County Council, but I think I just want to mention them for our council as well. May 16th to May 22nd is National Public Works Week. So like to send from our council and the other staff a thank you out to our Public Works Department and all the great work they do. And just would like them, probably Troy, you can acknowledge that for them, and it will be in the minutes that we've recognized it. The other one for May is May 23rd to 29th, and that's the North America recognizes the paramedics that week. So, and all the work that they do. And I've got some more here for June. I'm going to give those to you and I'll have them on our June meeting right at the start. So, and the ones I have are for the month of June. So that meeting's June 2nd. The other one that does start in May is National Accessibility Week. It's May 30th to June 5th. But so I'll acknowledge that one as well. And then Yolanda may want to put that one on for June as well. So those are the three. And that's what I have for this week. Deputy Mayor Gibson.
Thank you. Well, if we are acknowledging things, I would like to also acknowledge that June is Seniors Month. So
Yep.
if we can make sure that there's a note on the website. We've, got an awful lot of seniors in our township, and they keep our communities going. So it's a good time to celebrate them. The other thing I want to bring up, and I know that staff has already probably had conversations about this, is boat launches, because I've been having inquiries about boat launches and parks and how is that affected by the lockdown. And I know some neighboring municipalities have already tackled that issue. And I think, we just be, if Troy, if you can even give us an update on where you're at in terms of that, so that, if we get questions, we can certainly pass it along that staff are involved in the management.
Okay, yeah, I will let everyone know, or let council know, that this weekend, we have been in touch with the OPP for our high risk waterfront areas. So they're going to be patrolled this weekend, and Daryl will be out this weekend as well as a bylaw officer. But yeah, some neighboring municipalities have officially closed some of their waterfront boat launches. As for us, while Wicklow is closed right now due to construction, it will be next week as well. So I don't see Wicklow being an issue. We were sort of going to monitor the areas this weekend and see the announcement at the beginning of the week. We may have to officially close them for a period of time, but we're thinking that at the first of the week that things are going to start going the other way, opening up a little bit. But again, OPP have our list, and they say that they will be monitoring them just as well as our bylaw officer.
Thank you.
Councillor Booth?
Just another question on that, since you're talking about the waterfront. So Troy, are we putting up the no parking signs after the construction down there and the extra garbage cans again, anticipating that we're going to get more people down there once it does open?
Yeah, we still have the no parking. We'll have the barrels down there at those locations. We will have some extra garbage cans. And also we have an enforcement company, the same as last year, on hand if needed. They'll come in and work the weekends or long weekends or whatever we need. So this weekend's going to be a little bit of a test. We'll see how it is, and we'll just stay on top of it. But we have resources ready to go if needed.
And I can update you, Cobourg had a special meeting last night, and they're leaving Cobourg Beach closed until after, well, they'll make a decision what they're going to do at their Monday, June 7th meeting, but until that time, it's closed. And Premier Ford is to make announcements today at 3 on some of the things that may be allowed coming up. And I know that Crammy, they haven't done anything yet. Basically waiting to see, like all the rest of us. But they're prepared also to do what they need to do, the same as us. So everybody's concerned. I'll just leave it at everybody's concerned. So did you see Check's News the other night? Anybody? Tuesday night, maybe? Prince Edward County doesn't want issues this week or this summer. So they've made the decision at Wellington Beach to limit the numbers. And they're talking about, I'm not sure if it's 100% yet, residents using the beach for free. Out of residents, $10 a person per day. So whether they put that in place across the board in Prince Edward, that wasn't announced. Okay. Anything else, Sherry?
No, thank you.
Councillor Phillip?
Thank you. A couple of items. First of all, a couple of hats off. Thank you first of all to our building official, Daryl. We certainly appreciate the extra effort of late, and also I know that you've given up some family time on the weekends to do your job, and that has not been overlooked by council, and we certainly appreciate the extra effort. So hats off to you for that. Also, a hats off to Chris in our rec department. Chris, I know that the signage is up at Wicklow, and I assume elsewhere. It's simplified, it's clear, and it's also got rid of all the clutter of the numerous signs across the lakeshore. So that's something I know that our CAO wanted done, and it is done now, and I assume that you were behind that. So thank you very much for getting that done. And thanks to our CAO for instituting that idea. The other thing is I'm excited about the news that some COVID news, and that is that I'm sure we're all aware now that it looks like kids are going to be in line for the vaccine, starting May 31st through the regular channels, and 12 and up is a great step forward for us. And, our kids are the most important things in the world, and we want to see them safe and vaccinated. So I'm hoping that process will result in a relatively normal summer starting in July. And I'm sure that we all are looking at that goal as well. So those are my 3 items for today, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Philip. Councillor Booth?
Just one. I just wanted to give a congratulations to Terry Carruthers yesterday on the official opening of the Lass and Ladle. I was driving by Grafton, so I stopped by. There was about a dozen people there yesterday when Liam Craig, the town crier, gave the official opening. So that'll be good for Troy and his staff. He'll be able to get nice, good quality food and not have to go to Wendy's or McDonald's anymore. I know the hours are from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day except for Tuesday, so that'll be good for all of us. Thank you.
Yeah, that'll be really good. Okay. We're at the end of the meeting. Approval of confirming bylaw number 65, 2021. Being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the regular council session held on Thursday, May 20th, 2021. Have a mover, please. Councillor Booth, second by Deputy Mayor Gibson. All in favor? Carried. And a little light to shine on Yolanda. This is the beginning of her doing our council meetings as the clerk in Alex's absence. Okay, and adjournment. 109. Be it
So
resolved.
moved.
So, okay, I don't have to read it. Sherry's going to move it. Second?
Councillor
Jim.
Hawk.
Okay. I'll get the time in there, Sherry. 1:10. Fastest meeting, I think. Okay,
Yeah.
all in
It
favor?
worked.
It worked. All in favor? Carried. Thanks, everyone. We'll get double whammy at the next meeting. This one was a little short.
Thank
Okay.
you.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.